Hello people of the verse, welcome to the channel. In this video we will talk about Jumptown 2.0 and we also have a new Star Citizen Alpha 3.16 Evocati patch that is really juicy in terms of a new feature that I find particularly exciting. So let's get started. I think that 3.16 is going to have some interesting gameplay. Not necessarily a lot of new features, but I think it's going to make playing Star Citizen more exciting. So first, let's have a look at what they're talking about in regards to Jumptown.
When Jumptown2 activates.
By the way, I like the new looks of Jumptown. They've completely reworked the way the outpost looks with some of the elements that we are going to get to see on Pyro, like this little piece of cloth here or a sail, whatever it is. There's definitely an updated feel to Jumptown. This feels like a place where more activities are happening than the current generic outpost or module that we get to see in the verse right now. So kudos to the devs here for taking the time to, I mean, they didn't have to, but it's definitely going to make the place feel a little bit fresh, and I really appreciate that.
There are now 3 drug labs where this event can happen. Jumptown, Raven's Roost.
Oh, Raven's Roost. I think that by the looks of it, this looks to be like it is on Calliope. I mean, I could be wrong, but it definitely looks like it is on Calliope.
And Paradise Cove.
Oh, on Lyria, of
much
course.
More engaging, persistent universe.
I mean, I think that it's awesome that there are different locations because, well, I would say that one of my grieves here is that all of these 3 locations are IC location. I think it would have been great to have one of those locations, maybe not on Aberdeen because we already have Klesher, but maybe a remote place on Ariel, something like a really hellish area. I know we have these cold locations, especially I think the one on Calliope is going to be quite impressive because the weather is a bit rough there. But I think it would have been great to have something in an even harsher environment where people who don't have the right suits just have like 10 or 15 minutes of survival, and then they have to shelter into an area where their bodies can get a normal temperature. I think that this would have added extra strategy and extra tactical gameplay, but nevertheless, I'm still glad that we are going to travel around the various planets of the standard system though.
What is Jumptown 2.0? It's the event that we're putting out that is the officialization of a community event that happened a few years ago, where due to a bug, a location became immensely profitable that was also very conducive to player versus player.
Yeah, that was so awesome. Back a long time ago, you could buy tons of Widow and the Altrixotoxin back at Jumptown, and you could sell that at Grimex and other various locations, you know, terminals where you could sell some of those drugs. And it's just like everybody was asking, oh, is Gemtown safe? And people say, yeah, it's safe, don't worry. And then they would just get slaughtered. You know, it was just so much fun. People would just kill one another just to get access to, or at least control the station, and then fill in caterpillars and other cargo ships, and then make a ton of money. And they were also law-abiding players who just wanted to stop this whole drug trafficking just for the sake of doing that. And it was a lot of fun. I remember it was at the time when the Hammerhead was introduced. People were starting to bring Hammerhead and break chaos around the area, and I hope that this is something that they are going to be doing again. I have one concern about Jumptown 2 is now we have the A2, which is going to be dropping bombs, right? What's going to be stopping people from dropping bombs? I hope that CIG has taken that under consideration. I would hope that, for example, if people drop a bomb, it destroys somehow the facility, and the ability to produce drugs just stops, so that it wouldn't be in the interests of people to completely destroy the place. But I hope that CIG came up with some solutions here to counter that.
Combat.
So cool.
We are now taking that concept and turning it into a much more developed mission that we are officially supporting.
Look at that. There's even, looks like it's going to be possible to maybe go on top. There are definitely tactical areas here. Maybe players will be able to be dropped on the roof of Jumptown and here be able to control the area by just, you know, sniping from the roof without being seen. There's definitely there are definitely possibilities for that, you know, seeing people without being seen. I hope that there are other possibilities to get to the top. Maybe you just climb on boxes and then climb again and then climb again and then get to the top. That could also, I mean, since it's on Yela and there's a low gravity, I hope that the devs have also thought about that.
When Jumptown 2 activates, a mission will be distributed out to players. This mission comes in two varieties. One is the criminal side and one is the lawful side. If you are
Alright, so here, it's going to be in the personal tab. Looks like it's going to be in priority here. Okay, it is from Ruto. Got some good news for you. As we speak, there's an automated facility that is churning out package after package of primo product that's pretty much ripe for the taking. All you have to do is swoop down there, deal with a thug or two, which are going to be players, by the way, grab whatever you can and sell it for a huge profit. Should be a problem, and there are plenty of people around who would pay good credits to take product like that off your hands. Speaking of credits, I'm not going to give you the coordinates of this facility out of kindness. I think it's only fair that there is a fee for that. Where is the fee? It doesn't say how much though. So you're going to have to pay to get the coordinates, but then once you do, so does that mean that they're going to be removing the quantum travel point to the drug labs? Because right now in 3.15.1 you can go to Jumptown wherever you want. It's just it's just there. You press B for the quantum drive, and you just press B again, and your ship takes you directly. So does it mean that we're not going to be having access to those anymore, and we'll have to find them on our own? Old school Star Citizen like how it was before? I certainly hope so. I don't think that these facilities should be public. They should be private, and people should know how to find their way to these areas if they want to make money.
Having a crime stat, you will see a notification popping up letting you know that Ruto has contacted you, and he wants to sell you some information on a really lucrative drug opportunity. The big thing here is that when you go and collect these for Ruto, you will take those drugs and sell them at Grimhex.
Okay, so there's only one location to sell them is Grimex. So that means that if the drug location is on Calliope or Lyra, you're gonna have to travel all the way to Crusader. Which means that if you are a criminal, if you are wanted, you may eventually end up with a crime stat, by the way. Because if you're a criminal, then that's when you are going to be getting the criminal mission. If you're a criminal, it's very likely, unless you have a crime stat 1 or 2, but if you have a crime stat 3, it's very likely you will get a bounty on you. So not only is this going to be attracting lawful players who will want to stop this trafficking, but it's also going to be attracting bounty hunters who will be after you the whole way, especially if you have to travel from Microtech or from Arcorp all the way to Grimex. You could be intersected by people who have mantises. You could be intercepted just before the armistice zone on Grimex. So you're gonna have to be watching out for that as well. Oh, look at that! 96 units here, equivalent to 3 SCU of cargo for 57,000 Alpha UEC. That is a lot of credits indeed. Can you imagine? You feel like a cutlass is going to be almost well over 600,000 Alpha UEC. This is insane. People are definitely going to be fighting for this.
For the legal side of things, when you are confiscating that contraband, you are going to be taking them back to the lower Earth orbit station for that security company and selling it to their admin office.
Okay, so it's not just going to be Port Olisar here. So we're talking about Jumptown on Yela. The low Earth orbit station is obviously Port Olisar, so we'll be selling it there. But I suppose that if it's on Microtech, it's going to be Baijani Point, and if it is Baijani Point is Arcorp, sorry, and if it is on Microtech, it's going to be Everest Harbor. All right, makes sense. That makes sense. So, how much money does it get to bring back the drugs and get it confiscated if you are a lawful player? Let's have a look. There's 2 SCU here for 36,000. So it's pretty much the same. Here it's only 2 SCU, it's not 3. But the price is pretty much the same. Alright, so there's no difference between... I think that's a shame. I think that they should have made it more interesting for criminal players to get more money simply because they're criminals, right? And it would have enticed maybe people who are or profit oriented to be criminals, so that they would have favored more PvP action and bounty hunting at the same time. I think that there's a little bit of a missed of opportunity here, CIG.
We have actually put in some new tech that makes it so that while you are contracted for that security company, any police that pull you over will see that you have this contraband, but also
Okay,
that you
that's
have
great.
a temporary license for carrying it because you have been deputized, and so they will tell you to just go on your way.
Oh, that's awesome. This was actually one of my concerns, yes. But the security will know that you have the mission and they will let you go. That's cool.
All right, everything checks out. Feel free to go.
Another is that we added the ability for the shops where you can sell these things to be modified during it, so that you won't be running out of inventory anytime soon during a fire sale like this. The general flow of the mission
So
is...
here does what he means here. What Ben means is that you will never be stuck with your cargo. You will always be able to sell it, and that is also great because that's what was also a concern right now. It's just impossible to sell any drugs, because they are all saturated. Even with if you have small quantities, you won't be able to sell them. But during that event, it's not going to be happening. I hope that just regular drug traders will be able to sell them as well. That would be nice, not just people who have those cargos.
Is as follows. You will see a notification popping up informing you that you have a mission available. When you accept that mission, you will receive 2 markers. One marker will be pointing you to a location where you can sell the drugs. The other marker will be pointing you to a drug lab where those drugs are being automatically produced every X amount of seconds. It's worth noting that you don't need to have a mission in order to interface with this event. It's just that these markers are the benefit of accepting the mission.
So I think it's a confirmation that those locations will no longer have a public marker anymore. And I think that's great. In the past, people used to find Jumptown because they knew that there was a certain chain of mountains near a glacier that was where the location is. And then you had to go between 2 different summits. And then behind there's a crater, which is where Jumptown was. You had to know all of those little details to find the location. And I hope that this is also coming back, and that the markers are going to be, as Ben Dorsey said here, just a convenience.
During that time, everyone else on the server is also aware of this high-value location, and it is very likely that they will be landing and contesting you doing so. Since the original Jumptown, there have of course been a bunch of changes to the Persistent Universe sandbox. We have tanks, we have ballistas, we have ground vehicles galore.
Yes, look at the hammerhead here. This is exactly what happened in the original Jumptown, where they were hammerheads just above the locations and people shooting at whatever it was. Looks like Ben Dorsey definitely had a good time with the original Jumptown and remembers how it was. Yes, but now indeed we have a lot of AA vehicles, ground vehicles. It's going to be open warfare, and it's going to be very interesting to see how people are going to be approaching Jumptown. Are they going to be filling URSAs, for example? That's also a possibility. URSAs can have some SC of cargo in the back, and then bring the URSA into a vehicle that will be further away, and then bring the vehicle to low orbit. That's also a possibility. I don't think that it's going to be that interesting to be too greedy, right? Don't expect to be filling an entire, for example, constellation full of drugs. That I don't think that's going to be happening, because there's just going to be too many people happening, too much killing. I think that the best way to be approaching this new mission is just to be coming here, grabbing whatever you can as quickly as possible, and then going, because otherwise you would just get robbed or killed.
We also have a whole bunch more drop ships and varieties of ways to assault these drug labs. And as a result of that, we wanted to do a bit of an update to the gameplay spaces that they provided. Jumptown2 is set to release with 3.16.0. We're going to be running it on a schedule during winter break. We're really looking forward to seeing you all get to kill each other and steal a whole bunch of drugs during this, and we hope that you have a great time with...
During winter break, so it does look like they're still planning to be releasing 3.16 before Christmas.
This will call back to a great moment in Star Citizen history.
Alright guys, now this was really exciting. I cannot wait for Jumptown 2.0. and we'll definitely be playing that a lot on the channel. But before we continue, guys, let's talk a little bit about a video that I made on my second channel, talking about how Star Citizen made over $420 million with some, conspiracy theories and other naysayer arguments are being debunked. I try to go back to the origins of the project to explain the success of Star Citizen. It's on my second channel because I try to also not promote, but explain that to an audience that may not be familiar with Star Citizen. So go check it out. The link is in the comment section down below. Now, guys, let's talk about the patch notes for Star Citizen Alpha 3.16.0b, and this is very interesting. The known issues is decreasing a little bit. There aren't any major new known issues, so we'll not talk about this. But in terms of features, well, they're obviously tweaking the Gravlev polish here. They reduced the max speed of Gravlev's vehicles, and they also tweaked the reference gravity down, but also they now have atmospheric bounties. Now this is something phenomenal because bounties right now are just in, they've always been in asteroid or debris fields, and it's just so boring to always be around those asteroids and again another asteroid. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you may have a bounty around a station like the Kovalix Gondo, or maybe around the security post Korea, but that's about it. By the way, my baby girl decided to play around while I'm making videos, so if it's a bit noisy, there's nothing I can do about her to control that, so sorry. But nevertheless, I think it's fantastic that now we're going to have those bounties. Let's read the description here and let's talk about it after. So here it's the addition of flying bounties in atmosphere to all Stanton 1, 2, 3, and 4, allowing for players to now fight AI bounty targets above planetary locations. This can be in areas above caves, derelicts, junk sacks, outposts, and underground facilities. They've also updated reputation for infiltrate and defend missions to not punish players who abandon due to spawn times. Yes, I have lost so much reputation because the last NPCs never spawned at the bunkers, so now they know that it's a problem. They know that sometimes the last NPC does not spawn, and they are going to stop people from losing reputation. I think that this is a good move. I think that this is not the best move. I think that they should have lowered the amount of kills from 10 to 9, and if you only have 9 NPCs, since only 9 NPCs spawn, then that's all good. And if there's a 10th one, then that's just a bonus, right? But I hope that is just going to get smoother and it's going to be working better. But the fact that now we have other NPCs to hunt down, not just around asteroids and not just in caves, which are sometimes impossible to find because we get lost or we get injured in those caves, or in bunkers, I think is great. The more diversity, the more options we have, the better, and I can't wait for that. And I think it's I think that it's also going to be giving other options for players to have things to do in atmosphere, because right now, sorry, but sorry. I don't know why she uses plastic bags. She was quiet the whole time, except when I'm recording this damn video. Sorry, guys. It's so funny. Having kids is so funny. I love my baby girl. Anyway, so what I was going to. So, anyway, you got my point, right? It's just going to. I think that right now the only thing that we see when it comes to atmosphere is just flying low, flying in canyon. We see all those videos around the Stanton system, around the internet of people just flying low, and it's just. I think it's boring. There's just no point of doing that. So now finally there is, and that's exciting. Anyway, we got a couple of my neighbors now are drilling their apartment too. You see, guys, this is exactly why I have not been live streaming for a month, because it's just impossible. Anyway, sorry about all of this. Let me recoup here and try to be a bit more professional. So, oh gosh. So, major bug fixes. They fixed an issue that could block players from quantum traveling to surface locations on planets or moons. Yes, this is Something that I've noticed in 3.15, when you are living in the area, it's impossible once you're out of atmosphere, or at least at the 10 kilometers mark when you're on planets, it's impossible to quantum travel to another area. The workaround is to go to an orbital marker, and then from the orbital marker, you can go to another area. This is a bug. I was wondering if this was a new feature or not in 3.15. Apparently, it is confirmed to have been a bug, and it is fixed in 3.16. I'm really happy to see that. Elevators should no longer appear in the entrance to tram stations from the lobby in New Babbage. Yes, that was really weird, right? A lot of people have been very confused with that, and this is fixed. That's awesome. Players should no longer load back into ship beds inside invisible collisions after logging out on planet surfaces. Exiting gravlet vehicles should no longer cause players to fly in the air. They fixed an issue that was disabling the character customization button after the character was saved. They fixed an issue causing spawn ships to spawn in, clipping the platform and flip up at an odd angle. They fixed merits after deposits not shown in mineral terminals, and mineral arcs should no longer have a small hitbox. 2 client crashes, 3 server crashes, and I'm so excited about the atmospherical bounties. And of course, now that I finished the video, everything is quiet. It's always like that. Guys, I'm so sorry about all of this, and I'll try to be a bit more professional tomorrow. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, are you a bounty hunter? What do you guys think of atmospherical bounties? Is this going to revive the flame? Are you hyped? This is to get a chance to win lots of prizes that are going to be given away on Christmas. We got an $84 armor set and 2 Spartans with LTI. Also, if you want to help out the channel a little bit further via YouTube joint membership or Patreon, you'll have access to my Discord channel where we have an Anvil Liberator. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the noise again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. A huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out on Patreon and via the YouTube joint membership program. Creating content on YouTube involves continuous circles of ups and downs, and it is when we are the lower parts of the curve that your help really motivates me to keep on going. Your contribution really does make a difference, which is why in return I try to give back by offering backers access to my private Discord channel, automatic access to exclusive giveaways, or answering your questions during the show. You can help me out with as little as $1 a month, and any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.